looks like I'm back. And you can see the whole screen now. Can't tell how good it looks, so I'm gonna check on that. Amazing. I can see myself. I can hear myself. I don't know if the quality is good enough to watch me code. So I'm going to look at that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's good or if it'll be better after the stream or what. My first time streaming, so, well, that's not true, but my first time using all the newfangled tools and trying to do it like full resolution, like I see so many people do. Great. Oops. A lot of dead airtime. Riveting television, I know. I'm going to chat now just to see that that works. Looks like it does. Okay. Let me hop back over to my Trello where my to-do list is. And make some decisions about what I'm going to do today. Oh boy, lots of things to do, lots of things to do. At the risk of, well, first of all, let me get the code I have already changed, checked in, and run the tests real quick. I'm running I'm just gonna run the test. Run my tests and make sure that what all this, I believe that the code I have checked out right now, the modifications I've made are entirely white space to make the linter happy. But of course, something broke. So great, I'll just start there and start fixing tests, because they shouldn't be broken ever. Alright, game store, deleting a game, clears active component. Game store, there we go. This should be the problem. Only one test in here, and what did it do? No templates found with ID love letter. Templates with ID love letter. Right. I did change my fixtures recently, and apparently I didn't update my unit tests. Let me just make sure. I'm surprised that this is failing. I haven't actually run my tests in a little bit, so that's great. No templates found with ID love letter. That would be... Where does that come from? Game spec. Clears active component. Clears active component. Right, clears active component. Is it failing here? No templates found with ID level. Right. Okay. Yes, I know what this is. Let me look at my. Where am I like loading in fixtures? Dang it. I made a change. Oh. Where am I loading in fixtures? Level game fixtures. What is that? Oh, I am just loading them raw. That's cool. Because Cypress fixtures are just JSON files. There you go, game fixtures. The game has an ID of load letter. It's got component IDs, so these are all the IDs of linked components. And the thing about the character deck component, if I look at that, is that it is going to have a template ID, which is what I added. It's got a love letter template in there and a love letter source. But I am not loading these templates. So I need to tell my game spec that's okay. But where is this actually failing? Set games, set components. I bet those two. Oh, it's because of the cascade. It's because when I destroy the game, it tries to cascade and destroy all the components. And when it tries to destroy all the components, it tries to destroy the template. And that is no good because that template doesn't actually exist. It's interesting because my code probably should be smart to this. And I definitely didn't build it to be robust at the moment. And it may not actually want to delete the template, but I'm not sure. Let me just see what happens if I do make a template fixtures, and I think I can just do this, set templates. Do that, head back over to the test. And this is actually the units. I'm going to npm run test unit for quicker run. And I've got a typo. Right. Run the test again. Beautiful. So that actually fixed it. No big deal. Great. So now I'm going to run the full test suite, which will run the integration tests as well. I actually expect that to pass. And while that's running, I am going to check to make sure that this live stream is using the correct microphone. And I can't tell because I'm not used to using this live stream software. What is going on here? Did my tests got some failures, and I'm getting couldn't set selected text background color from default. I don't think any of these are important. But my tests seem hung, and Cypress seems to be mad about something. Okay, I'm going to bail on this automated test and actually run it. Since I don't know what broke. Test, dev Cypress. This is my code was built. Okay, let's run the tests in here. And this might be a little slow because I'm live streaming. Something always has to suffer. Oh, not slow at all. Oh, the problem is that I've got an only set somewhere. Obviously. I think that's a text layer spec. And yep, I have an only. Gotta remove that. Back to Cypress, refresh. There we go. Okay, so this is my Cypress suite, which essentially uses Paperize through the browser. And as you can see, or maybe you can't see, it's fast. So it's running through lots of different use cases of Paperize, building various games, setting up components, setting up templates, and ensuring that it does the right thing. So this is like, this basically is, instead of me having to run through and make sure that my whole app still works every time I make a change, I can just run these automated tests. And they can do really cool things. So actually I'd like to build a game fully from a test. So I'm hoping to script full-on games from just Cypress scripts. Soon, actually, maybe today. Wow, that actually worked, except for a single test failed, which I'm not super sure about. Logs out when sign out is clicked. It looks like it never found... Oh, it found more than one thing. Oh, that's fine. That's relatively expected. Let's fix that. Actually, that was working, wasn't it? Sign out. Logs out when sign out is clicked. Oh, whoops. That's cool. Found a Cypress screenshot. Did not mean to do that. What I do is probably this one. Logs out when sign out is clicked. Alright, I'm going to set an only on that test and rerun Cypress, which will now only run the one. Great. And I can use this to time travel my browser back to where it was. And here's the problem. So I'm selecting .authenticated.menu and a link, and that found 2 elements instead of 1. I know what they are. I'll just Right, because I added, and then you can't click on 2 elements, you gotta click on only 1. Check this out, right? That's it. The problem is that there are 2 now because I added a new database option in there. So let me, I think it's a site-wide, yeah, profile. Right, this is the one I added, and this is what previously. I'm curious if I can just do a contains sign out and click that. Clone that line, clone out the old one, change this to contains sign out. Oops, sing out, sign out. That may work. Yep. Totally worked. So that test is better. Maybe better, I'm not sure. Drop the only, rerun all the tests. got a different error this time. That's not good. It's not good when you've got when you expect your tests to pass or they fail intermittently. It's called flake. And you do not want flake. Flake means you've got bad tests. Tests should always be pretty deterministic. I'm seeing some errors in my console too, so I think I've definitely added some flakiness to the last few commits I've done. Which is fine. I'll fix it. Oh wow, they run so slow with the live stream going. Normally my test's all complete in about 30 seconds. Okay, let's go check into what we have here. It's the only one that failed, just one test failed, and that's from the game editor page. List components. Alright, let's find that one. Game editor, lists components. There it is. Slap an only on there and see if we can force that to happen again. No. Did not happen when I refreshed. That's really bad. Okay, so maybe it is actually dependent on nearby tests. I'm going to move the only to be this entire suite. No, it's working now. Maybe I should have looked closer at the error before I removed it. That is super strange. Yeah, they all work otherwise. It's super strange. Let me remove the only. And that's even a really simple test, so I'm kind of surprised it failed. Alright, I'm going to run them all again. Even if that one passes, I'm interested in all those console failures I saw. It passed. Yeah, that's not good from a flake perspective, but... Okay, here comes some of the errors. No sources found with ID love letter. And again, that's just because I've messed with my seeds fixtures. Because there is a source with ID love letter, but I'm not loading it all the time. Or I'm loading the wrong fixture for certain tests. And that's fine. I actually did expect that. I just forgot that I expected it. Let's see if there's any more. Same thing, no sources with love letter, no sources with love letter. Yeah, so I've only got one error. It's just happening a lot. So I want to find one that's doing that. Oh heck, how do I find one? How do I even find one? Oh, component source manager will have it. Let's try that. Source manager. And I'll zero in on a test that'll generate that error for me. Allows me to delete a source. I think that one did it. So I'm going to remove the only from there. Find allows me to delete a source. There we go. Oh. I'm just going to assume that failed because I wasn't giving it. Oh, who knows? Oh my goodness. Okay, that did create it. Okay, and that happened. No sources found with ID love letter. Right, because I deleted it in that test. Is that right? Yes, expects that not to exist. So that makes me wonder. Right, I'm I need controls around deleting different resources and deleting all of everyone who relies on them. Man, don't know if I can bite that off right now. I am gonna put it in my Trello though, as a bug. So cascading deletes and or deletion warnings for associated records. Give that the bug label and more detailed description. Delete a source that is in use. To see this. And I'll let that be there for now so I don't forget the problem and I'll have to come back. But meanwhile, I need to actually see if I can get the test to pass from the console. Units passed immediately. Looks like the units passed before I even built the code. No, I think it's okay. Oh yeah, no, it's fine. And this is just Cypress running headlessly, and all the outputs going here. What? Oh. What are these? Seems like Cypress is taking screenshots now or something. I don't know what those were. But that's what failed last time. see this? Okay, what's going on here? Save as. Save what as? .pdf. What is this? .pdf. Yeah, save it. Oh. Oh, I see. I see. I see. Check that out. This is a PDF. This is a card that got output from Paperize, and Cypress downloaded it for me. That's awesome. That's awesome. It's new behavior though, so it's definitely causing trouble. I'm just gonna make a note of that. Cypress auto downloading PDF artifacts. So I need to fix that, so my tests can keep running without hitting bumps. But I would love to use that in the future too, to verify that Paperize is putting the right thing out, putting exporting the right game. That, so I could say if you make a rounded rectangle and it contains this text, that it should create a PDF that looks like this, and then I'll be able to make assertions about the renderer, the actual Paperize PDF renderer. That could be very cool. Just not ready for that yet. Okay, but what I do want to do today, and I'm just going to go ahead and add a doing card. I'm going to Cypress drive a new game, a full game. And what I'm going to have that mean is that it'll create a game create a deck component with images and text. And then I'm also going to create a pile of tokens. And this is more of just a test to see how this goes. I want to get where I can do this with any kind of game. Get where I can get comfortable doing this, and then I want to actually build games, clone real games that are ambitious, for instance, or brainstorm games and show that you can create games as fast as you can imagine them, and also sort of highlight features that we want Paperize to have, and even if it doesn't have them, I'll at least have a test that specifies them. So, and then I can kind of know what to work on and how to move forward. So yeah, so this is what I'm going to work on right now. So I'm going to Cypress drive a full game, and I still forgot to check in my code, so I'm going to do that. Oh yeah, I've changed a lot now that I've messed with things. So this is all just white space and linter stuff. All right, let me check in my white space and linter. This one was a real fix. That's an only. I need to get rid of that. Never leave the only in. It's a real fix. There's an only. Oh no, that's me removing the only, which was important. Oops, to the only. And these are test fixes. Great. I'll push that up. Okay. Great. Now my code is all safely on GitHub. Nope, and I've got a file that is edited. Oh, I added a comment. Great. Nope, I didn't finish writing the comment, so I'm not going to. I did write another comment. That's fine. Great. Okay, great. Okay, let's start. Let's make a Cypress test. Full on. Make a new file. The rest of the Cypress tests I have numbered because I kind of walk through the features in order. This isn't a feature as much as like an end-to-end creation of a game. Like it's going to be an abnormal test. I'm not real sure what I'm going to do about that, so let's, I'm just going to put an X at the beginning of the file name and say, I'm just going to call it create a game. Spec coffee. And we like CoffeeScript when we're running our tests because it's just so terse. Describe creating a game from scratch. And normally you'd have a lot of it statements. This time not so much. It's almost redundant to have even one it statement. I'll just say it works. Alright, what I'm going to do, actually I already said in my Trello that I'm going to create a game, create a characters component. Is that what I called it? It doesn't matter. Create a characters component, add images to characters, add text to characters. And then I'm going to make a create a tokens component. Great. I'm going to throw an only on here so that Cypress only looks at this one, and I'm going to go run my Cypress task, which is npm run dev Cypress. I also have a dev unit or something like that, which runs the unit tests live while I work. I can say run all specs because it's going to detect that I have only in there. And yep, found it. Creating a game from scratch works. No commands were issued in this test. There you go. Great. So we need to visit the app. I don't know if I'm going to need to use any of my helpers. We'll see. Just going to visit the main page. And that works. Right, so signing in is something that I don't really want to do in the test. So I am going to go and see how I've been doing that. Fixture helpers, commands. What am I doing? Defaults, view helper. I think this one's probably the one. What do I do? I have like a login edit game. That's like, that does everything. Here you go. Oh, I've got a login. I've got a login task. That's great. So we'll do that. Let's see if we can just do that. I think I've done myself a favor here. Let me close other tabs and make this a little bigger since I'm coding proper now. What is it? Side out login? I think that just does the thing. Yep. Now I'm logged in as Avid Gamer. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to want to click New Game. Let's go ahead and add that. Side contains so click that. I should have some stuff to type into. Let's see. Yep. Just going to inspect that input. It's game title. Sci.get game title, and we're going to type into game title. What game are we making here? What I said characters and tokens. So we'll make this game, I'm going to call it Factions. And I think maybe if I just hit enter at the end, that's how you can simulate an enter key press. Let's see if that works. Boom, great. So that created the Factions game. We're going to click new component after that. I'll go ahead and do it so I can see what I'm dealing with. Click new component, and then I've got another text field. Wait, what? Why did it? It's got its ID on there, of course. Component title new. Okay. You can kind of see I'm already being like, I'm using different selectors on different forms. So just doing this like cross-cutting test, I'm already kind of noticing some inconsistencies that I've got built into, just from the way that the app was built, one screen at a time. That's fine. Maybe I decide to clean that stuff up later. All right, create characters component. Great, so we'll name this characters. I forgot to click new component. So I'll click new component, and then I'll type characters into that. I'm actually going to go ahead and clone that and do it again for the tokens. Let me get some spacing in here so that looks good. Probably comment this a little bit. Use the login helper since we're not testing that. That's all it takes to create a game, is to give it a title. That'll create a characters component, and then this will create a tokens component. Let's go run it. Beautiful. So I've got a game called Factions, I've got a component called Characters, and I've got a component called Tokens. Tokens is going to be the easier component. So let's do that one first. Let's do that one first. So we want to, oh, we got it, okay. So I want to click this edit button, then I want to click custom size, and then I want to set the width and height to be something square. Maybe an inch by an inch square. Let's just see how I might go about that. Is that done? Yeah, it's done. Okay. It needs a source. It needs a source. Okay, I need some sources in my database. That's fine. That's expected. Let me go and add sources. So there's the love letter source, the Carcassonne source, the pandemic source. JSON is very picky. So you gotta do it just right. This will be a tokens source. And this will be a characters source. And one of these sources, oh yeah, this is made to look just like Google sends over. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, it's not like the best thing, but it's fine. All right, I'm going to copy this because it gives me the beginning. So characters, you're actually going to get the ID of characters. I'll call you characters. And the rest of that stuff will be the same. Tokens is going to get the ID of tokens. In the real world, in the app actually generates hardcore IDs. This is, I use easy ones in the seeds and fixtures just so that I don't have to think about them when I'm testing. Okay. Great. So now I should be able to actually load those sources into the database in advance, because I don't actually want to test getting the sources in there that are tested elsewhere. I just kind of want them to work. Yeah, so basically when I create characters, I want to be able to click set a source and then have a source appear right here, and then ditto on tokens, should be able to set a source, and I should have a source for them to appear right here. So that's should be fine. We're going to use the view helper once again, which is going to allow me, so I've got this view and fixtures helper, which lets me grab all my fixtures and use whichever ones I want. Oh, actually I already have one, load sources into view, and that looks like that'll do what I want. So I'm going to load the sources into view. So I'll do that. Actually, let's just do that and refresh and make sure that it works, because I can touch the application live once it's run. Okay, so that's all run. Now if I click set a source, yay, sources are there. So that was an easy way to just get them loaded in. And if I select the sources, the token source for that one, the character source for that one, it's just that easy. There's nothing in those sources, of course. So we'll go make those now. The tokens is going to be very easy because it's just really going to be a couple of quantity. I can't do colors. Yeah, so it's just going to be a couple of quantity fields, which is great. Sources. Okay, so tokens. Let me see what these. So it's an array of arrays, and each array should contain. Okay, the first one is the headings, and then the rest are the values. Okay, so for tokens, the headings are going to be quantity and name. And let's just put a letter on the thing since I can't do colors right now. We'll say abbreviation. Great. Right, so that's the first row, and oops. All right, so we'll have 20 of the first kind, and they'll be currency, and they'll just have that abbreviation of $, and then we'll have 50 of the second one, and it will be, let's say influence, and it'll just have a big I, and we'll say there's 100 of the last kind, and that will be victory points. And we'll just put a VP on those. Great. So there's a source for tokens, which I should be able to select and then do some templating with. All right. Just gonna refresh and go make sure that that works without issue. So for tokens, I click set source, I take tokens, and yes, it found quantity, name, and abbreviation, and it's now attempting to render a PDF, though I've got no template there yet. So great. Great. Oh yeah, we'll set our quantity property here. Yeah, this is gonna be sweet. Quantity jumped to 170 from 3. So that's fun. Great. Boom, that's what it'll look like. That's really cool. Sorry, thinking. Great. All right, back over to the tokens. All right, so we make tokens. I'm not gonna automatically hit enter while I'm creating them. Okay, I'm gonna open the token editor, which will be open. I'm gonna click custom size. Set the size to be a 1-inch square by clicking custom size, and then by so I've got a paper width and a paper height. So I get paper width, clone that paper height. And I'll type into that a 1. And I'll type into that a 1. And then I will click close. Yep. And I want to see if that works. I need to, oh really? Paper height didn't, what did I, oh, great. Component editor, yes. Paper width, oh, it's not here. Oh, it's a dimension editor, I think. Or no, it's, that's the source. Oh no, this is not what I thought it was. Component form. Still no? Close button, template size editor. That's what I'm looking for. Template size editor. Paper width. Paper width appears twice, just like that. Should really be paper height. Can't have the same ID twice. I really should have something to catch that in the future. Fixed it here, but not here. Okay. Okay, paper height is now a separate thing. And I also need to clear these before I start typing. Right, right. Okay. Rerun that. What did that do? Oh, I'm gonna watch closer. It got overridden. Sometimes it's like Cypress moves too fast for my code, which I don't love. Clear type, clear type. I'm just going to backspace 3 times. See how that goes. No, that looked good. Yes, totally. So it erased what was there and left me with just the one. Okay, next I'll click Set a Source. Set a source dot click. See where that leaves us. I think I can make the delay slow. That's fine. So I need to. What's this button? Set source. Set source. Oh, I've got a menu next to that. That's bad. That is bad. I need to be able to click on this word, really. I'm going to go to the source manager and see if that's something I can take care of real quick. Change now. Click set source. Oh, and here's the other one. Yeah. All right, we can make that work. We can make that work. I think that'll do it right there. Sci.contains tokens.click. I think it's not going to like that because there's going to be a lot more than one place on the page that says tokens. But I'll figure out how to narrow it after that. Yep. Nope. Timed. It's being covered by another element. Oh, right. It's trying to click on the tokens that's back here. So I need to scope it to this source manager, which I can probably do because I bet the modal has an ID. Yep, ID source manager. Yeah, so that's no problem. Because I can wrap this in a sci.get source manager and do it within. So now everything that happens inside this block happens inside of that, and so this will only find the one. Yep, that worked. My dimensions aren't working. This is wider than it's supposed to be because it didn't take the width. I'll mess with that in a sec. But we got the tokens. And now I actually want to set the token quantity property to be quantity. So I need to figure out how to click this thing. It's quantity property. I think select is a thing. I think that just selects from a drop down, and that would be quantity. We're going to try that. Totally worked. So that's set quantity as the quantity property, which has Paperize now detecting those quantity fields that I set to be 30, 20, 50, and 100. That adds up to 170. Beautiful. I gotta figure out how to get this working correctly. I don't know why. I don't know why it accepts one and not the other. Maybe it needs to wait between them. I hate a Cypress wait. It's like not a good thing to have to do. No. The typing has a delay. I think the delay by default is 10 milliseconds. Let's try a delay of 100. So it'll type a little bit slower. Maybe if nothing else, we'll see what's happening. It worked. I'm gonna run it again. Why not? Yeah, it worked. I think that Vue has an update cycle. You know, it detects changes and then updates, and then if you keep twiddling stuff while the update's happening, then when the update comes back, it overwrites what you've twiddled. It's just like some asynchronous stuff there that really should be able to be worked out. Cypress expects that kind of thing, so I'm not sure what I have to do to kind of get that copacetic. Cypress has to act a little bit more like a user, or I need to convince Vue to be less user-friendly while I'm Cypress testing. Anyway, something will happen at some point. So now I want to click this edit to edit the template, and I'll come in here and make some layers. This is going to be awesome. So this button is probably inside something that has an ID. Yep, template editor, edit. Get template editor. And we'll make some room. There we go. Oh no, not click. Get template editor dot within. Side dot contains edit dot click. And you know, this is kind of sloppy. Like I'm taking multiple steps to do things, but Cypress is fast, and it's kind of nuts to try to fix every little thing. Like, you know, you don't always have to make everything dry. You don't always have to make everything perfectly factored. It is true that your tests are code too, but I have always felt that it's okay to have your tests lag a little behind on the code quality. If you spend your whole time trying to make your tests perfect, you'll spend your whole time trying to make your tests perfect, because they really can't be perfect. And the only thing we know about code is that it changes constantly. The only thing guaranteed about requirements is that they're going to change. So, yeah, I just try to kind of stick to what I'm doing and not, as they say, go shave a yak and, you know, fix all my selectors. Just kind of get the thing selected and go, especially in Cypress. Cypress is just really powerful and easy to do this stuff. It allows you to kind of just keep moving, keep being productive, and not get bogged down in the quagmire of what it is that you're doing. Great, let's see if that works. Yes, pulled up the template editor with the component on the table. All right, so what I need to do now is click new layer. I need a shape layer. So let's see if I can do that. Actually, let me make this room permanent by putting something down here. There we go. Side contains new layer. Click that. And then we'll click shape. Side.contains shape. And then we just comment out the parts that I don't care about right now, so it moves faster. So we'll just create the token instead of the characters this time. Yep, that worked. And I'm going to want X and Y to be 0. And width and height to be 100, not 110. And that makes the square perfectly. Actually, I'll make it 99. Sorry, I'll make it, no, 99 is fine. I'll make this 0.5. Oops. So just a shred of a line there on the outside, so I can tell them apart. Yeah, so I need to set those values. Oops. Pardon me. So that's dimension X. Yep, no problem. Dimension X. Sci.get. And that we're going to type backspace again, I believe. And then we're going to type 0.5. Dimension Y, we're going to do the same. Dimension W and dimension H. These start at 90 or something, so they need backspace twice. And their 0.5 will actually be 99. Let's see if we can affect that. So again, we're actually seeing if we could build an entire game from scratch just by scripting the browser in Cypress. So we were almost successful. So the X failed and the W failed, but the Y succeeded and the H succeeded. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with that. I'm going to apply the same little hack that I applied before, and I'm going to put a delay after the X and a delay after the W. Just so that it types a little bit slower. What was the effect of that? That made the X pass, the Y fail, the W fail, but the H pass. Right? Yeah. So I kind of think I just need this delay to be everywhere but the last one. Which probably is a hint as to what's working. Nope. Nothing worked that time. Just the last one. Super weird. Let's just triple the delay and see what happens. It works. This is what happens. You know, maybe it's the blurring, the exiting of the, you know, moving outside of the input. Not real sure. Okay. Color. This is going to be tough because if I click that, it pops open this color picker, and I don't think Cypress can interact with that. I do not think Cypress can interact with that. Oh, what the hell? Let's click it and let's see what happens. Oh, that's the stroke color. I may turn fill on and stroke off. Uh-oh. It's filling outside of the box I told it. May have a bug. May have a bug, ladies and gentlemen. Seems that fill does a different thing than stroke. So if that goes to 1.5, and this goes to what, 96? Or 97 it should be. That kind of bothers me that I'm getting different sizes if I have a different. Let's turn the stroke on. Turn the fill off. So at 1% with stroke and fill on, there's a line. With stroke off, oh, there's still a line. What? I'm gonna assume this is just a rendering oddity. Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone for now. How do I turn stroke off? Ooh, I don't. Field set. Oh, I don't have any indication that this is the stroke field set. Okay, that's fine. Shape layer. Call this stroke settings, and then we'll come down. This will be fill settings. So that's a little easier to grab stuff, because why not? Then we're going to get stroke settings. So inside stroke settings, I got to get the input, this input. Which is the input? Oh, no. Yeah. It's the input inside of the legend. That's weird that I did that, but again, I'm just going to leave it and click the thing. Oops. Stroke settings, legend, input. Do the same in the fill. So the stroke starts on, so that'll get turned off, and the fill starts off, so that'll get turned on. Let's just see if that works. Totally. Strokes off, fills on. It's all full again. Bugs me. Bugs me. Okay, I'm gonna actually type 1.5 here, and I'm gonna type 97 here. So that I end up with a token that is legible. You know what? Nah. Okay, so all that runs, and there you go, 170 squares. Great. I'm going to need to add a text layer to put the abbreviation on it, so let's do that again. New layer. will appear over top of earlier layers, so we're going to make a text layer. There's the shape layer, all... Oh yeah, no, it worked, great. And here's the text layer, which I now need to... Still, I gotta set the color. Gotta set this color to be something not... Alright, let's see what happens if Cypress clicks the color. Why not? Text color, great. Just to see. Text color, click, totally happened, and it did not pull up a color picker. Did not pull up a color picker. Figured. Okay, let's go see what the Cypress documentation says. Head over to Cypress, and we're going to search for color. Color. Nope. Did not find anything to do with color. Ah. Oh, that's it. I have to use this. And no. It's all about color in the output. Let's see input. Input has to bring something up. Clear, check, focus, type, submit. I wonder if I can just type into an input. That's not a text input. Let's just try typing. Get it. We'll type an RGB value. I sort of don't think that's going to do anything. Cypress detected that there was a problem. You know, it said it wouldn't be available to type into. Yeah, those are all valid typable. Oh, well, I'm bummed. I can't set colors. Okay. I'm going to need to look into that. I'm going to make a note of that in my roadmap. Cypress can't twiddle color pickers. Got to follow up on that. It's not really a bug. It's something to look up. I'm going to put that here. We are creating the game. I'm working on the tokens now. Great. Okay, so instead of doing that, I'm gonna leave the colors alone. I'm going to go back to, I'm going to not change from stroke to fill. I'm going to instead change the shape to be a circle, which I do with shape. Shape layer fields, select, right? Yes. Another field set with nothing good under it. Let's look at that. Shape layer. Oh, there you go. This field set needs to be shape. Shape settings, great. Okay, so we'll get shape settings, not legend, and then the select, and then we're going to select ellipse. So this should leave us with a circular token with no fill so that we've got room to put text in the middle of it. And then what text we type, we'll work on that next. Yeah, beautiful, sort of. All right, now text content, we're gonna find, yeah, I can do that. So we've got a text, so we're gonna do sci.get text content, and then we're gonna type in here, let's use a CoffeeScript, string literal for what we're gonna type. And we're actually going to type the source. I called it abbrev. I'm just going to call it ABBR. Yep, so we're going to type ABBR in here. But Cypress needs me to escape those curly braces. So I want to figure that out. I'm looking at type already. Literal, okay, yep. It's weird, don't worry about it. It'll work. Escaping is always fun. Okay, so it builds the token there. Makes the text, boom, types that in. And that text is being rendered up here, so I need to actually move the text layer. Hold on, there's a robocaller calling me. No, thank you. I'm thinking if I set the text layer at 45x and 45y. Huh. Looks too far down, doesn't it? About 35y. What? It's so far down. More stuff to figure out, but not important. Okay, 30. I like 45 and 30. Its width doesn't really matter because it's not going to be very large. Oh, but I am going to set the... Actually, let's get the font size right. We'll jump that up way on up because these are tokens. They don't really... Yeah, there we go. I gotta figure out how text spacing works because it is clearly not how I think. I guess line height and all that is involved. Put it back to 0 and I'll let x be 30. 35. Can y be negative? I don't remember if I allowed negatives. Nope, I didn't, but I need to. I clearly need to. Okay, we'll set x to 35 and y to 0 and text size to 48. Oops. So now I'm just kind of copying other stuff because it's like the same things. 35, 0. And text size, select 48. Okay, and that should leave me with the tokens that I so desperately desire. Yay! I built that token from scratch. That's very cool. There will be 170 of them. They're all identical. The first 20 will be currency. 21 is influence, so it's an I. And holy cow. What was it? The 70th one should be. Victory point. Oh, and it's VP, so the P is off the side. You know, I'm going to need more robust handling for some things. That's fine. But we're seeing some of the dynamic features of Paperize are working. The quantity's working and expanding out. Remember, the source it's working from only has 3 rows. But it's using this quantity field, this quantity column, to explode 20 items out, 50 items out, and 100 items out for free, quote unquote free. Let's pop back over and just print the game and see what we see. Took a while. Took a while to build that up. But there it is. There's my sheet of tokens. And the VPs have their text off center, but that's fine. What's not fine is that it's actually bleeding over into the next token. That's a big no-no. So I'll need to do some kind of work to ensure that that's not possible. That doesn't happen. But, it's the creator's fault. It's my fault. So it's up to me to not do that. There you go. There's the token sheets. And if I had colors working, I would it'd be cool to make these like different color circles and things like that. But that worked, and that went pretty fast, even just scripting the web page. Scripting the web app to do the work. So. Great. Okay, now I said I wanted to do the characters thing. Another component with characters in it. Let's, I actually feel like the tokens were pretty cool there. I think that's kind of done. And let's see, token, source manager, token set of source, right. Yeah, so this is all so that's all there is, lines 18 to 54. So, what is that, 26 lines? 36 lines? To script an entire component. Pretty cool stuff. I'm going to go back to the characters now. And I'm going to comment out the remainder of the tokens so they don't have to wait for them. Let's just see. Yep. Characters, I won't change the size because the standard size is the poker size playing card. I do have to set the source to be characters. And there's nothing in characters yet, so I'll add some interesting stuff in there. And we'll make a quick... I've only got 10 minutes left before I've got to end the stream. I'm wondering how much I can get done, or if I can get anything worthwhile done. Let's still work on the fixtures regardless. So here's the characters. The first one will be the column heading. So character will have a name. We'll give them a... I'd love to do colors, but I can't do that yet. We'll give them a strength. Or no, that's too macho. Male power fantasy. Let's give them oh, influence. We like that. With the tokens. An influence. Could have like an image field here, but I'm actually just going to use their name to generate the name of the image. Because why not? So they'll have name and influence. And let's just say that's all for now. And we'll make up 5 characters. There will be Conrad. He'll have an influence of 3. There will be Ripley. He'll have an influence of 5. There will be Guinevere. She'll have an influence of 10. There will be some kind of monster. Let's call it Trog. Influence of 7. And then cat. What are cats usually called? Felix. Influence of 1. Sorry, cats. Sorry, cat lovers. Save that and let's add selection of the source. How did that get done? That got done just like this. Alright, let's see if we have effectively selected that source that we just created. Huh, yes we did, but I did something wrong. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? I think oh. Too many arrays. Unsurprising. There we go. 5 with a name and an influence. All right. Let's pop open our template editor. Same as before. I'm going to add 2 text layers. With their we'll set their size. And again, I'm just kind of copying because I've got all the work done down there already. And you can make helpers in Cypress to make these things easy. I have done a bit of that, as you've seen, but a lot of the app is still unstable. So again, I make helpers and they'll just be out of date soon, or they'll enshrine a bad pattern or something. So I just try to keep it really simple and verbose for now. I would make helpers later on once the app had hardened a good bit and the helpers could actually help like a new developer come on or something like that. Or if it goes open source and we need lots of people helping. But for now, is what it is. text size to 48 and the text content. I'm just going to reference that name field. And I'm going to do something similar for the influence. But for the influence, I'm going to actually, so I'm going to print it out, but I'm also going to say influence, colon, so that this word will appear on every card with the value next to it. And I'm going to need to move them as well. Let's just take a guess at that. Move the X and Y. Actually, I'll leave name where it would want to start, which is the top left corner pretty much. It's this one. That's going to get moved. And I'll leave X, actually I might leave X alone. I'll move Y down like half the page and see what happens. Okay. Oh, we got, oh, not visible. Right. So it's finding it's not finding the word text that I want to find, which is fine. I've got a modal here that I can probably scope to. Dialog content, no. Dialog buttons. Quickly scope into there. Probably should do that every time, but let's go without. Pretty standard stuff. All right, test passed. Look at that. There's Guinevere with her influence 10, Trog with his influence 7, Felix with his influence 1, Conrad with his influence 3, and Ripley with his influence of 5. And that, you know, if the only thing I didn't do here, which I really wanted to do, was put images in here, but I'm out of time. But imagine I spent the next 30 minutes, or less, probably less, throwing images in right here. Then you'd have 5 cards, 5 character cards with images, and 170 tokens. Oh yeah, let's actually run that. Put all the uncomment all the token work and let the full. Oh, this needs to get closed. How do I close the template editor? Close button. Click the close button, like you do. Creating the token. I think it did. Yeah, the test is done. It's all green. Took 20 seconds to do. Yeah, so 20 seconds and this thing generated a game. All right, so yeah, we have tokens, we have characters. Let's make sure the characters are working. Yep. So now if we said print game, it's going crazy, going through all the layers here, 100 times over with the tokens, and there's a PDF. There's a PDF. There's a PDF that did not print correctly. Interesting. Got a bug there, but I don't know what it is. But this is how you can make a game. With all your components will be printed out, and you just take the guillotine to it and slice up the bits you want and deal it out. These aren't supposed to be like this. I'm not sure why the tokens started right here, but you know, it's just a math error somewhere. So I'll get that working. Also, I've had users ask to not interleave the components like this, so at the end of the characters it should have gone to a new line before it started the tokens. That'll be an option that I'll let people enable or disable, because some people are going to want to save paper and interleave anyway. So yeah, but interleaving isn't working clearly, so I'll have to fix that. But very good. That's all I've got for today. Thanks for following along. This is the beginning. I feel like that went pretty well. I was impressed with the live stream software. Not bogging down too much, and YouTube seems to just work, so I'm going to go and review what this produced on YouTube. See how I feel about going forward, what else I can live stream, and I'd like to start doing this frequently. Maybe even taking requests on the air of your games. If you have a design that you think is impossible to work on in software, I would like to attempt it. So yeah, could be the beginning of something great. Thanks for joining, and I will see you when I see you.